Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to come on here and kind of discuss a little bit in audio format, if you will. Like I said, I wanted to come on here and talk in audio format, if you will, a little bit about, I've been talking about it a lot because I think it's just too evidential about the whole Spike Rarity deal. Now I've come on here and on camera and stuff, and I've basically stated that, you don't have to agree with the possible semi-canonization or semi-officialization of Sparity, Spike, and Rarity after the best gift ever. Some of you might come out and say, well, Brian, it's a special, really doesn't have no lingering effect on the show. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are looking at Best Gift Ever as episode 0 of season 9. And I don't think you can really blame them for thinking about that, just the way it's probably presented, and the fact that it takes place a couple weeks after the finale. The season 8 finale, that is. Again, I don't think you can really blame them. But here's the thing about why a lot of us are surprised that they went this route. And again, I know it bears repeating. And it doesn't bear repeating what I'm trying to say, but it does. It's just when you look back at season 8, and the fact that the main theme about it, in fact, several themes I look at, but the main theme was about diversity and accepting those for who and what they are. And the other theme, of course, being the true test of the main 6 or main 7, Evans and Spike's friendship. I mean, you take a look at all the storylines that we got in the episodes. I think that speaks for itself. But, everybody wants to know, why did Nicole Dubuc, why did the creative staff, after seemingly 4.5 years, 4.5 seasons, with a few moments sprinkled in here and there in season 5 and somewhat season 6, why all of a sudden come season 8 they decide to bring this back to the forefront? Why in season 8's episode, The Breakdown, that they decided to have Spike basically read a poem that he wrote for Rarity while holding a big handcrafted heart that he made for her? Why in the following episode, The Meltdown, did you have certain situations happening to both of them? And more precisely, if you want to look at some Easter eggs or you want to look at some nods, why in the season 8 finale did you have Rarity be the one that used her hoof to kind of help Spike spit out the letter from Celestia? And then you had moments where they stood side by side with each other throughout the 2-parter. Everybody's wondering why they brought it back. And my assumption, my opinion, as I've said before, is I think Nicole Dubuc, Josh Haber, and some of the creative staff probably looked at the fact that if this season, while they were working on it, was going to be about diversity and accepting those for who and what they are, you couldn't get a more better example of that currently in the series than Spike and Rarity. And there's no doubt, in my opinion, that maybe Nicole and Josh were fans of it. I mean, the only one that wasn't truly a fan, from what we understand, was Megan McCarthy. And that's acceptable. That is acceptable. I mean, it's like I said before, everybody has a right to their opinion. If you don't like something, you don't have to like it. And you can give reasons for it. You can suggest or order people, you could suggest to your fellow creative staff, or if you're the main person in charge, you can order your main staff to kind of play it off, kind of say, oh, well, this is why, and that's why, and da-da-da, through social media. But, again, I think when Nicole realized that the theme of this season was going to be diversity. It was going to be about accepting those for who and what they are. She knew that if they didn't do it, she probably thought and believed that if they didn't do it, her and Josh and the creative staff, that if they didn't bring up Sparity in this season, the fans would. There's a good chance that the fans would. Another reasoning as well is the fact that this was the season that we had Spike get more fleshed out in a sense, as well as grow physically and mentally. I mean, he finally got wings, and how long have people been saying, well, when is he going to get wings? And in this season he got them. This all culminates together as saying, this, to me, in my opinion, this all culminates with the fact that I don't think Nicole or Josh or any of the creative staff saw anything wrong with it. The only people that saw anything wrong with Spike and Rarity, Sparity, if you will, kind of, being somewhat of an item or a thing or what have you, depending on how you look at it, the only people that saw anything wrong with it were several members of the fan base, as well as Megan McCarthy. But you know what? I think, and this is my opinion, I believe Nicole Dubuc, Josh Haber, and the creative staff probably, like I said, they probably didn't see anything wrong with it, and then probably realized, like I've mentioned, that there have been several occasions throughout all kinds of media, animation, live action, well, this has been done. Well, this kind of scenario has been done. Again, like I said in my video that I put on here on YouTube, as well as in some of the Facebook group pages, you take a look at Illumination's The Lorax. You take a look at that movie, and pretty much you have a character voiced by Zac Efron who's like, 12, 13 years old. He's head over heels for his next door neighbor who's like, a couple of years older, played by Taylor Swift. And what happens at the end? She slyly sneaks a little kiss on the cheek on him. And she kind of looks back on him in a sly kind of way, like, okay, he's kind of won her over. He's kind of, I guess, won her heart or something. I don't know. And people would question that. But no one really has. You take a look at Blank Check and what they did there. This is a Disney movie and what they played off with there. You take a look at the Tom Hanks 1980s classic Big and what they did there, kind of, in a way. Heck, take a look at Princess and the Freaking Frog and Tanyana's friend at the end of the movie. And how she asks the princess' younger brother how old he is. And when he tells her, she says, hey, I've waited this long. And like I've mentioned previously, take a look, if you really want to go way back, take a look at the anime Galaxy Express 9999. And look at the movie, the OVA, and how it ended. You basically had this adult, young, humanoid you had this young adult, humanoid android woman who was tagging along with this young boy. And what does she do as they part ways? What does she give him as a going away present, as a parting gift? She gives him a kiss. And we're not talking on the forehead or the cheek. She gives him a kiss on the lips. And this is anime. And anime sometimes is unusual and questionable, but that's back in the early, 80s? Early to mid 80s? Point is, folks, I think Nicole Dubuc and the creative staff knew about some of this. And they realized, you know what? There's nothing really wrong. The only people that making it, to them, in my opinion, they believe, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I bet, in my opinion, they're looking at the fact that the only people that are making it look bad are the fans that don't think it's right. And the other person that made it look bad was Megan McCarthy, who, by the way, is no longer the real executive producer. I mean, yeah, sometimes you got to pass certain things by her, but mainly the main person in charge is Nicole Dubuc. And she will basically give the final say. I mean, if she does have to pass something by Megan McCarthy, she will. But as executive producer, she has, in a sense, the final say of what goes down. So, in my opinion, I look at it this way. We can, when it comes down to it, the real people that were behind Sparity being brought back to the forefront, when you think about it, if you really want to know why it was brought back in season 8 and then kind of subplotted and focused on in Best Gift Ever, which many consider a episode 0 season 9 episode, even though it's a Christmas special, if you really want to know why they were brought back, you don't have to look any further than the creative staff led by Nicole Dubuc and Josh Haber. They're the ones that gave the okay for ideas. They're the ones that came up with some of the ideas. I mean, heck, they split double duty on the freaking season 8 finale. So, in the end, I think when you really think about it, depending on who the writer was, or depending on who helped out as well, it's the creative staff that basically made Sparity become a reality again. It was people like Nicole Dubuc and Josh Haber and the person that wrote Best Gift Ever, along with Nicole and Josh. They're the ones responsible for making it happen, for bringing Spike, Rarity, Sparity back to the forefront. You know, it wasn't just something they thought, oh, let's just throw it in sporadically and see what happens. No, they brought it back, and they brought it back for a reason. One of those reasons is the theme of the season, accepting those who and what they are. So, I mean, heck, when was the last time in any of the seasons she called Spike Spikey Wikey? When did that happen? I'm waiting. When did that happen? Hasn't happened in a while, right? To me, the creative staff's the reason. Mostly Nicole Dubuc and Josh Haber leading the charge in this. So, and Glenn or somebody who helped them write the Best Gift Ever special. So, in closing, guys, if you really want to know why Spike, Rarity, Sparity was brought back, Miss Anthropony, you want to know? You don't have to look any farther than the creative staff. You don't have to look any farther than the theme of the season, and possibly the reason why. Because honestly, in my opinion, they probably thought the same thing a lot of us do. It probably isn't really any big deal. The only people that make it a big deal in their eyes are the fans that think it is. And believe me, MAP, if you're listening, I think they will give resolution. As a matter of fact, I think, in my opinion, they've taken that first step in that resolution happening with Best Gift Ever. So, again, if you really want to know why Sparity was brought back to the forefront, I say look no further than the creative staff. Mostly the creative staff led by Nicole Dubuc and Josh Haber. So that's all I'm going to say on it, guys. So that's about it, and hopefully you guys will respond down the line. I'd like to hear from you about it, and I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care.